going on, class? Again, my name is Blake Rouse. I hope you guys are having a great Friday. Today we are going to be going over some of the informative necessities when talking about a presentation or even an interview assignment. So what I just did is I just completed my big interview assignment myself. I went through and did the whole interview process and learned a bunch, and I also learned what AI suggested that I do to make my speech even better. So some of the first things that I'm going to talk about are the working outline and the speech outline when giving an informative speech or something that is very important that requires a lot of practice and skill building up to your interview. So we have the working outline first, and basically this serves as a detailed blueprint for your speech, helping organize and supporting ideas. So basically the working outline is something that you will write down before your interview to basically make sure that everything is good and you have all the key bases of everything that you want to talk about and go over. Secondly, we have the speaking outline. So writing it down is one thing, but speaking it is a whole entire different thing. When I write something down, I normally think that I'll be able to speak it very well, but often I struggle and stutter, and it often takes me a bunch of times to record these videos. So with the speak outline, a condensed version of the working outline used as a reference during the actual speech delivery is the best method that we can do, rather than just trying to read off a whole entire paragraph that I'm trying to memorize about myself. Some of the benefits of this effective outlining is it ensures clarity, engagement, and confidence. Like anything in life, when you've practiced and you've gone through the motions so many times, it becomes easy when you actually do it. The same thing with the interview process. If you practice enough, the actual interview will be no issue. Me being a former student athlete, I really am aware of this and I understand that practice makes perfect. So for me, I'm just a practice guy and we'll sit there and rep it out until it gets done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over a couple things that help to really ace that formal interview that you might not have thought of, but this can definitely go from you not making the job to you making that job. The first thing we're going to go over is the preparation, which is basically the foundation of success. Before we even step into an interview, we have a big, critical, long list in theory of what we should be doing versus what we shouldn't be doing. And I'm about to go over that, and we're going to go into detail about some of these things that I've listed. The first thing you're going to do is research the company. You never want to go into an interview uneducated or unaware about what you're walking into. You want to know maybe when the company was founded, who are the original owners, who will I be interviewing with. Learn some fun facts about your interviewee. Like if you were going in and getting interviewed by James at Allstate, maybe find out a fun fact about James or two, or maybe find some interest that James has that you guys can maybe correlate with during the interview. Analyze the job description. So this is really, really important and often most times misunderstood. A lot of times people will apply for a job and not really read the job description as well as they should have, and they end up just showing up to the interview for a position that they aren't really interested in. And I mean, let's just save each other all time here and not do that. We'll really read the job description and make sure that what I'm applying for is exactly what I want to do with my life. Some other things that we can do are we can practice common questions, and we can also predict what the interviewer is going to ask. At pretty much any interview, there's probably 4 to 5 questions that are asked throughout every single interview. What are your weaknesses? How can you improve my company? What is your job experience? These are things that you should have mentally prepared in your head, and you should be able to answer these by the time the interview comes around. You should never be struggling on these basic questions. These should be just free-flowing thoughts that your interviewer asks you, and you can just answer them quickly and not stutter or not give any kind of false information. One last thing I would say is definitely dress professionally. Like, a lot of times people will just show up in a button-down to an interview. Like, I personally don't think that's enough. I'm a full suit guy, or no matter where I go, I like to overdress rather than underdress. It's just something with me, and I think it just shows professionalism within you if you're willing to do that. Some of the last things I'm going to say are some of the 4 things that you can do to leave a strong impression after you've left the interview, or even maybe during the interview, are communicate clearly, showcase your value, show the interviewer what value that you're going to bring to the company, and they'll be a lot more pleased with your results. Second to last, professionalism, and lastly, close strongly. Whenever you finish the interview, give the interviewer a good shake on his hand, a firm shake, look him in the eyes and say thank you for the opportunity, and hopefully you'll get that second interview. Class, that's all I have for today. Thank you very much, and I hope that this PowerPoint helped.